Hello, Assalamu alaikum students. I am Ghulam Hasan War and today I am going to discuss one of the poems in English, that is Palanquin Bearers, written by Sarojini Naidu, who is a poet from India, from our own country. But today it is not only that I teach you the poem, especially I want to give you the things, the poetic techniques that the poets generally use in the poems. Moreover, we in India or we in Kashmir have our own culture. The poet has wonderfully defined the culture. In our olden days, what we were doing during the marriage, we were just using the palanquin, डोली जिसे हम इंग्लिश में कहते, उर्दू में कहते हैं, और कश्मीरी में हम उसको ज़ापान कहते हैं. आपने देखा होगा, आपने सुना होगा, या आपने अपने घर वालों से भी ये सुना होगा, क्योंकि आपको मालूम नहीं है तो उनको बता दीजिएगा कि ये ज़ापान वगैरह कैसा होता था. तो उसी पे, इस कल्चर पर इसने इस पोएम में बहुत अच्छे अंदाज में दुल्हन को बयान किया है. और दुल्हन को ही नहीं, if you see the title of the poem, that is palanquin bearers, those persons, यानी कहार, bearers means those persons who were carrying this palanquin, and in that palanquin this bride, she was sitting in that palanquin, and they were carrying this bride from one place to another, to bridegroom's house. So, let me recite the poem, and you would, all the students of class 9th will listen the poem, how I recite the poem, and then the class 10th students, they will just enjoy the poem also and see how the poet has used different poetic techniques in this poem, that generally the poets use to make their poems very beautiful. And in order to, why these poets use these poetic techniques, it is because the meaning becomes very easy to understand. This is one thing. Second thing is that while teaching poetry, we should have the aesthetic sense. It creates the aesthetic sense among the readers, among the listeners, and with everybody. So, let me recite the poem first. It has 2 stanzas, and these, every stanza is written in a sestet. A 6 lines poem, a 6 lines stanza in English is called as a sestet. And you know, before I recite the poem, there are some very important things that you have to keep in mind regarding poetry. As in Urdu, we have different types of, different kinds of poetry. For example, ghazal is there, nazm is there, rubai, kasida, marsiya, etc. Same is the case in English. We have here lyrics, ballads, lyrical ballads, elegies, odes, and here it is a lyric, it is a lyrical poem. And a lyric is a poem that can be sung on a musical instrument, because it has been derived from a word lyre, L-Y-R-E. Lyre is a musical instrument, and this is one of the poems, beautiful poems of Sarojini Naidu. And let me recite the poem first. I have written a stanza here, first stanza of the poem having 6 lines, and a 6 line stanza is called a sestet. I have already told you in one of the lectures that while we talk about a stanza can have a only one line, that is called a verse in English. 2 lines stanza is called a couplet. 3 lines stanza is called as a triplet. 4 lines stanza is called as a quatrain. So, remember it. 5 lines stanza is called as a quintet, Q-U-I-N-T-E-T. Keep your pens in hand and write down. Quintet, Q-U-I-N-T-E-T. This is a 5 line stanza. Then 6 line stanza. stanza in Urdu called as band, जिसे आप कहते हैं, and 6 line stanza is called as a sestet. See, here are 2 sestets in this poem, and the 7 line stanza is called as a septet. Then there is 8 line stanza that is called as octave, O-C-T-A-V-E, pronounced as octave. Then there is 9 line stanza that is called as a Spenserian stanza, and there is, when we talk about 14 lines poem, that is a sonnet, different kinds of sonnets written by Shakespeare, etc. But today let me just recite this poem first by Sarojini Naidu, and I will later on tell you the meaning and those things that especially I want to talk about, that is poetic techniques or the figures of speech, or we can say the poetic devices. Generally, when you are in your examination, you go there, you find a stanza, then you are asked to write, find the poetic technique used by the poet in this stanza, and that is what I am going to teach you today. This is for all classes, for 10th class, especially for 10th, 11th, 12th and 9th class, but the poem is for 9th class. The first stanza here is, let me directly come to the poem first. Lightly, oh lightly we bear her along, she sways like a flower, she sways like a flower in the wind of her song. Lightly, oh lightly we bear her along, she sways like a flower, she sways like a flower in the wind of her song. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream, she floats like a loaf, she floats like a loaf from the lips of a dream. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream, she floats like a loaf, she floats like a loaf from the lips of a dream. Gaily, oh gaily we glide and we sing, we bear her along, we bear her along like a pearl on a string. Second stanza. Softly, oh softly we bear her along, she hangs like a star, she hangs like a star in the dew of her song. She springs like a beam on the brow of the tide, she falls like a tear, she falls like a tear from the eyes of her bride. Lightly, oh lightly we glide and we sing, we bear her along, we bear her along like a pearl on a string. See, this is the poem, and these are the lines, or we can say verses, 2 stanzas. But let me first of all now give the meaning of the poem, summary of the poem. Then I will go through the poetic techniques. In the very first line or first verse of the poem, the poet says, and this is full of images. I will talk later on what this imagery means. The poet has used here beautiful imagery. This is full of imagery. Like that, we consider that a bride is going on. There are some persons carrying the bride on their shoulders, and what they are doing, they are singing a song. Actually, this poem is a song sung by those bearers. And what they say, what those bearers say about the bride. Bride is there listening in the palanquin while they are carrying her on their shoulders. They are singing about this bride who is most beautiful and who is very light. They were easily carrying her without any hesitation, and they feel happy to carry her. And what they say, lightly, oh lightly we, see here the word we, because the poem is sung by the bearers. They say, we carry her very lightly, we do not think that there is anybody on our shoulders, because an image comes to your bride, how she is wearing that kind of dress, bridal dress in that palanquin. And these palanquin bearers sing, they are happy to carry this bride because this bride is not a sort of what I say, जिसे हम बोझ कहेंगे, ये उनके लिए बोझ नहीं है. They easily carry her. Why so? Because she is very light. उसका वजन उतना ज़्यादा नहीं था. And she sways like a flower in the wind of her song. She sways like a flower. So, like a flower here is a simile, because a simile is a poetic technique that the poets generally use to give a comparison between one thing to another, to a person. I will just recite one of the Urdu verses here. And in this verse you see here, हस्ती अपनी हुबाब की सी है, हस्ती अपनी हुबाब की सी है, ये नुमाइश शराब की सी है. The poet here tells us about this life of ours, which is just like a bubble of water. So, he gives a comparison of life to a bubble of water, which lives just for some moments. So, same is the case with this life of ours. What is this? Ye numaish sarab ki si hai. This whole of this world, it is a show. It is a mirage. It is nothing. So, it is just for some time. Same is the case here. What the poet in the very second line of second verse of the poem says, she sways like a flower. She sways, I'll just, this means sways, meaning in English. So, she is actually happy while she listens the song from these bearers, and she feels very happy. But see, like a flower, फूल की मिसाल उन्होंने दी है, पोइट ने दी है, किसकी, किसको, इस दुल्हन को. So, very easy to carry and smells beautiful, smells very fragrant, or like that of a flower. Now, but here is the very important point, that is in the wind of her song. When I say the meaning of the word, if I tell you what is the meaning of word wind, आप कहेंगे हवा या आंधी. But see, when poets use the words in their poetry, there are two kinds of meanings. One is connotative meaning and the second is denotative meaning. One is the meaning that is dictionary meaning, but here that is not the dictionary meaning. Poets do not use mostly the dictionary meaning, they give something else. So, here wind does not mean hawa or andi. So, mind it, wind here means music, because these bearers are singing a song, and with the music of that song, the bride in the palanquin feels happy and she is dancing there in that palanquin. She feels happy. अभी वो मायके से जाती है और मायके से जाने के बाद अब उसको याद आएगी मुझे कहाँ जाना है, अभी वो रोने भी लगेगी. पहले स्टेंजा में पोइट ने बहुत अच्छे अंदाज में इस दुल्हन को खुश दिखाई दे दिया, बहुत खुश, because she is thinking that she is now going to another home where she can be happy. But on the other hand, in the second stanza she feels बाबुल की दुआएं लेती जा, जा तुझको सुखी संसार मिले, मैके में क्या है वो दूसरा शेर आपका, मैके की कभी ना याद आए, ससुराल में इतना प्यार मिले. And see what happens, the same thing happens in this poem. Now let me go to the third verse of this poem. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. She feels very happy. You might see the image of this poem. When a stream, the water in a stream is flowing, and in that stream you find foam, foam जाग को कहते हैं हम, and a bird comes and sits on that foam, very light. Same is the case here with the bride. She is very light to carry, and this is what these palanquin bearers say that she is like that of the bird, a very little bird sitting on the foam, whereas she is there in that palanquin on the shoulders of these bearers. So they feel happy, and she feels also happy. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. Now the poet gives here different poetic techniques, not only the simile but other poetic techniques. I will give you one by one these techniques, but see, full of similes, like a flower in the wind of her song. She sickles like a bird on the foam of a stream. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. Have you seen a very little baby while the baby is asleep, and sometimes the baby laughs, see, and sometimes even it weeps, but laughing. When the mother of baby is there, how happy she feels while she sees the baby laughing in the dream. Same is the case, she feels very happy. The poet gives here the very beautiful image. Gaily, oh gaily we glide and we sing. The poet says that we slowly go on by singing some verses. अभी मैंने गाया है बाबुल की दुआएं में भी, they might be singing the same song also. And we bear her along like a pearl on a string. See now one more simile here. I'll underline these similes. Like a laugh, like a bird, like a flower in the wind, and like a pearl on a string. And you might see these brides wearing these diamonds and golden pounds, etc., etc., whatever jewelry they have, but in a string. Now we bear her along like a pearl on a string. See, these bearers say that she is very costly, and they treat her like as the bride treats that string. जब किसी ब्राइड को वो जेवर पहने हुए होते हैं तो वो कितना ख्याल करती है अपने इस जेवर के हार को और उस माला को जो कि गोल्डन होती है. तो इसी तरह से द बेयरर्स इन द सेम वे दे ट्रीट दिस ब्राइड, एंड दे आर वेरी केयरफुल अबाउट दिस ब्राइड while going on. Now the second stanza is there. Softly, oh softly we bear her along. It means that they are happy to carry her, no difficulty. She hangs like a star in the dew of her song. Now see here once again the beautiful image. Here is dew somewhat. Dew को हम शबनम कहते हैं, but here it has nothing to do with the poem. So once again the connotative meaning, not the denotative meaning. The poet gives us some other meaning, but how can she be in that dewdrop? The poet beautifully gives this kind of image that she is when in the morning sun is caught through these dewdrops. When we look to the dewdrops, we find sun there, but after some time there is no dewdrops. So same is the case. The poet feels here that how beautiful this bride is, and she is very light, like that of a dewdrop. She springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. Now what happens when she listens the song from these bearers? Now she feels now not angry but unhappy, sad. Why so? Because she is now thinking that she has left her brother at home. She has left her parents at home. She has left her younger sister at home. Now she is feeling very much. Tears come to her eyes now. Now she begins to weep now. Because she is thinking now deep, because she is leaving her father's or parental home now forever and going to to a husband's home. Now see, she springs like a beam. Now she comes to her conscience and she thinks that what she is doing, why she is happy. So she feels totally sad while thinking that she has now left her parental home. And she falls like a tear from the eye of a bride. Now once again, she falls like it. The bearer sing this song, but on the other hand the bride is weeping, and a tear falling of a tear, once again an image. When these brides leave their parental homes, how they feel sad and melancholic and lonely. This is the image, and an image is coming maybe to your mind. See the power of the poetry. This is because the poetry deals with the emotions of a child and emotions of the listener. Now this time the bride is on full of emotions, and on the second hand, if you think on the second side, if you think an image comes to your mind regarding or about a bride who is weeping when she is leaving after she is leaving her parental home. Do you understand? Good. Now last stanza. Lightly, oh lightly we glide and we sing, we bear her along like a pearl on a string. Once again the poet say that we take care of that bride, and she is very costly like that of a pearl, as the bride takes care of that string with pearls, with diamonds. Same is the case with these bearers. Now this is the meaning part of the poem. Sarojini Naidu beautifully creates an image of past, about the culture, how beautifully the people were using these palanquins, and you might see that in that picture also. Now this is the meaning part of the poem. Now there are many poetic techniques used in the poem. Let me first of all tell you, I will start it from here. Lightly, oh lightly we bear her along. Here you see this poem, this word starts with la and this starts with la. Clear? There are other things also, but there is a poetic technique in English that is called alliteration. You please write down alliteration. alliteration. Alliteration is a poetic device, is a poetic technique where the poets use a consonant letter. It starts with a consonant letter in the beginning of a word, more than once or more than twice. That's called alliteration. That's called alliteration. And similarly, you know, where the poets use generally these like or as. Then sometimes, now see, here is the alliteration part, and you will find there are different examples of alliteration in the poem. That is, you have to find it out. I will define one by one. Then you have seen here lightly. So here is I, here is I. Sound I mean say lightly. So here when the poets use different repeatedly a sound, that means a vowel sound, that is called as assonance in English. What? Assonance. You will write it A-S-S-O-N-A-N-C, assonance. So an assonance is a poetic technique where poets use what? The vowel sounds more than one time in a verse. Then there once again there is a consonance also. La, lightly, la, long. So this means consonance. That is, consonance is a poetic technique that poets generally use in a verse where they repeatedly use a consonant sound. In English there are, so you will find such different examples here in the poem, because in the next sentence you have to see what these, how these examples or these poetic techniques have been used. This is full of imageries. Imagery, if I tell you like a flower, so you have a this picture, an image comes to your mind of a flower. This is called as imagery also. You know, in English when we talk about imagery, we talk of different senses, 5 senses. That means we feeling, touching, or we say smelling, we say this voice image, we say color image and taste image. In this poem you will find this is full of poetic imagery also. For example, like a bird on the foam of a stream, and you might be an image would be coming in your mind when a stream is flowing and there is a little foam, and on that foam a bird sits. See, this is image, this is the power of poetry, that how poets use these images to make the meaning of the poem very easy. Now, gaily or gaily, now see here, can you give me what kind of this is technique is here? Gaily, gaily, glide. So, here g, g and g. So, this is once again alliteration. What is this? Alliteration. And there is one more poetic technique, that is onomatopoeia. That is a poetic technique where the poets use the same words giving the same meaning. And the words, these have the same meaning. For example, tick, 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 sound is the same and meaning is the same. Tick, tick, tick. Or hiss, hiss, snacks, these rats squeak, these snacks hiss, hissing, ticking of a clock. So, these are this onomatopoeia. Here is a refrain. Refrain is a very poetic, poets generally use this. When we repeat a phrase, when we repeat a word, when we repeat a verse. See here in this stanza we say, we bear her along like a pearl on a string. If you see the second stanza, there in this second stanza, we bear her along like a pearl on a string. So, this repetition of a verse, this repetition of a verse of a line, this is called as refrain in English. So, see beautifully through this poem there are more than 8 poetic techniques in this one poem, and these poetic techniques are very important for you because these are asked in your examination. Meaning part, while going through the questions of this poem, what are the feelings of the palanquin bearers as they carry the princess inside the palanquin? If I ask you the question, can you answer this question? It means what are the feelings of the palanquin bearers? Now, how they think? They are happy to carry this bride. Why so? Because she is very light to carry. She is very beautiful like that, and they give her, they give the comparison to different objects which are very light to carry, very beautiful like that of a flower. So, they are very happy. What is the rhyme scheme of a poem? Now, see what is the one more thing. There are words when these are have the same sound. For example, I say along, song, stream, dream, sing, string. This is these are called the rhyming words. These are called the rhyming words. And same is the case when we talk about the second stanza. You will find more rhyming words from the poem. So, then there is rhythm. Rhythm means Urdu में जिसे आप रदीफ कहते हैं, the music, and see that's why this poem can be sung. These are some of the poetic techniques from the poem, and I hope that you might have understood the poem beautifully, and let you sing and recite the poem as I have sung it just now. I hope that you will be able to recite it 2 times, 3 times, and by this way you will remember the poem forever. Hope that you will do it at home, and the questions or exercises in the poem, that is your home task. You will do it after this. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you.